Support for the Roundup comes from Symphony 3, allowing councils to connect their systems securely, to automate their data flows and to monitor performance in real time. And right now, councils are lining up for their own emergency dashboard, like the one that Symphony 3 has created for the city of Greater Bendigo. The dashboard helps keep the community safe and prepared before, during and after emergencies. It pulls together live data, including weather data, traffic data, emergency incidents, unplanned and planned disruptions, news and social media feeds. Visit www.symphony3.com to learn how you can get an emergency dashboard for your community. Ahead on the Roundup, no end in sight for Wyndham's mayoral saga as councillors slam an MP's blurring of fact and fiction. Voting fraud claims rock Whittlesea's by-election. Glen Eira wins a higher rate rise. The ICAC Parramatta inquiry alleges a fear and surveillance culture. Council CEO comings and goings across 5 states. Launceston slams the AFL's Hawthorn exit decision. And major reforms loom as Perth's council is slammed for its diabolical culture. Hello, I'm Chris Eddy and we're back with the Local Government News Roundup. Stories from and about councils across Australia and beyond. Brought to you with the support of our founding sponsor, the Victorian Local Governance Association, the national broadcaster on all things local government. From Symphony 3, simple, connected customer experiences. And from Rath Engineering Development, smarter local government systems built from real on-the-ground experience. We are back from a short break and there's lots to catch you up on from the past 10 days or so. I do hope you did enjoy the special episodes that we had arranged for you during that break. Let's start in Victoria, where the Wyndham mayoral saga continues to drag on, with Councillor Preet Singh resisting increasing calls for his resignation. Those calls now joined by the local federal member Joanne Ryan, and after a 4th community protest demanding he step down. It has also been revealed that Councillor Singh is under investigation by Victoria's Justice Department over whether he should be dismissed as a Justice of the Peace after his now infamous character reference for a man later jailed on child sex offences. This week the council will trial a new sign-in system for in-person council meetings. Attendees will be required to register by 5 p.m. the day before and show photo ID on entry. The council also says no placards or banners will be allowed, and disruptive attendees may be asked to leave as part of updated safety measures. More on those latest developments from the Star Weekly. And in yet more Wyndham news, councillors Josh Gilligan and Mia Shaw have hit back at local member for Werribee John Lister, following critical comments he made in State Parliament recently. In a fiery joint statement, the councillors accused the state MP of using parliamentary privilege to blur the lines between fact and fiction. They rejected claims of financial mismanagement, stating Wyndham's budget consistently passes independent audits, and they've confirmed that community sport infrastructure funding has been completely cleared by the state. Serious voting fraud allegations have hit Whittlesea Council's Laylaw Ward by-election. The Victorian Electoral Commission has confirmed a significant pattern of multiple ballot returns and intercepted dozens of suspected fraudulent votes before they could affect the count. Electoral Commissioner Sven Blumel stated that while the suspected interference was intercepted quickly, any attempt to subvert the democratic process is a serious crime carrying penalties of up to 5 years in prison. The VEC has officially referred the matter to Victoria Police and the Local Government Inspectorate for immediate criminal investigation. The City of Whittlesea has declared enough is enough, slamming the Department of Transport and Planning over the shocking state of local arterial roads. A council audit revealed over 1,300 maintenance defects, including severe potholes, damaged guardrails and overgrown hazards. Mayor Laurie Cox says despite repeated pleas to the state government, the roads continue to rapidly decline. The council is urging residents to direct their frustration straight to the Department of Transport. Pyrenees Shire Council Chief Executive Officer Jim Nolan has announced his resignation, bringing an end to more than 11 and a half years of leadership at the municipality. His retirement concludes a distinguished 37-year career in local government. First appointed to the top role at Pyrenees in December 2014, Mr Nolan previously built an extensive career spanning 2.5 decades working across several Victorian municipalities, including the Glen Eira, Southern Grampians and Northern Grampians Shire Councils. Jim will finish at Pyrenees Shire on the 10th of July, after which he's looking forward to pursuing other interests, including travel and spending time with family. Details on a transition plan and recruitment process for a new CEO are pending. Glen Eira City Council residents will see their rates go up by 5% for the 2026-27 financial year. The Essential Services Commission has approved the council's request to exceed the state's rate cap by an extra 2.25%. Mayor Simone Zamoud acknowledged cost of living pressures, but said the one-year increase is critical to maintaining local parks, libraries and ageing infrastructure. For the average household, it will mean paying about an extra $7 a month. A massive $57 million capital works underspend will take centre stage at Tuesday night's Greater Geelong Council meeting, according to the Geelong Advertiser. Agenda reports reveal major community projects are being pushed back into the next financial year. Also on the agenda, concerning community feedback, accusing elected officials of listening with closed ears. The council will vote on a revised community engagement policy that aims to rebuild trust in its consultation processes. A newly released technical report prepared for Moyne Shire Council has revealed the Port Fairy pool facility has suffered significant deterioration. Experts have ruled out a simple repair job due to high costs and risks. Councillors will review the findings at this Tuesday's meeting, though no final decisions on the pool's future have yet been made. And Melbourne's Banyule Council has launched its Banyule's Ready campaign ahead of the November state election, calling on candidates to back critical local upgrades. Key priorities include revitalising the Ivanhoe Aquatic Centre, fixing Melbourne's most dangerous roundabout on the Greensborough bypass, and securing funding for local homelessness outreach services. Also making news in Victoria, nominations are now open for the 2026 Mary Rogers Awards, recognising women in local government across the state. The awards, run by the VLGA with the Victorian Government, celebrate the achievements of women councillors and promote gender equality in decision-making. Councillors and councils can nominate in 4 categories, with entries closing on Friday the 3rd of July. The MAV has won the Technology and Digital Innovation category at the Planning Institute of Australia's Awards for Planning Excellence. The award recognises its advancing AI innovation in local government project, exploring how AI and automation could support statutory planning. And Cardinia Shire Council is moving ahead with a major digital transformation, appointing PM partners to manage the rollout of new enterprise business systems. The project follows the awarding of a software contract to Technology One and will replace outdated systems with an integrated cloud-based platform. Let's check in now on what's been happening in New South Wales, and sensational details continue to emerge from the corruption watchdog's inquiry into the City of Parramatta Council. Recent evidence presented to the ICAC inquiry has laid bare an alleged culture of fear and high-tech surveillance under former CEO Gail Connolly. Former Chief Financial Officer John Angilli told the Commission that the email accounts of Councillor Kelly Darley were targeted for electronic extraction after she opposed a $1 million Parramatta Eels sponsorship deal. He testified that Ms Connolly routinely kept sensitive directives off the record to avoid public scrutiny. Meanwhile, internal logs revealed that the council's anonymous workplace bullying portal was weaponised. Management allegedly used Microsoft Teams chat logs to identify and compile dossiers on staff who criticised the executive. The inquiry also went into private session last week to protect untested evidence as the Commission probes allegations that roles were systematically tailored for personal allies. The hearings continue this week. There's lots of reporting on that inquiry. Check out The Guardian, the Sydney Morning Herald, the Daily Telegraph or ABC News for more. Lake Macquarie City Council has appointed David Hughes as its new Chief Executive Officer for the next 4 years. David has spent the past 8 years as the council's Director of Built and Natural Assets, managing a $4.1 billion asset portfolio, and he's previously stepped into the role of acting Deputy CEO. He'll formally assume the CEO role on the 10th of August, following previously planned leave. Current interim CEO Tony Farrell will remain at the helm until that date. Meanwhile, Justin Fitzpatrick Barr has resigned as General Manager of Singleton Council. The council has commenced the search for an interim replacement and appointed Mel Curtis as acting GM. Justin stepped up from the Director of Infrastructure and Planning role at the council in August 2024 and was with the council for nearly 6 years in total. Kiama Council will hold an extraordinary meeting this Wednesday at 5 p.m. to consider a proposed change to its New South Wales government-issued Performance Improvement Order. Local Government Minister Ron Honig has issued a notice to extend the deadline for a balanced budget by 12 months, pushing it to the end of the 27-28 financial year. Mayor Cameron McDonald says the extra time will help protect community services and jobs while the council continues budget repair and governance actions. Jack Franklin has been sworn in as Cessnock City Council's newest councillor after the New South Wales Electoral Commission completed a countback of votes from the 2024 local government election. The countback was triggered by the resignation of Ward C councillor Mark Mason in March, creating a casual vacancy. Franklin took the oath of office last Wednesday and attended his first council meeting on the same day. A builder has been fined $30,000 after concrete runoff polluted stormwater in Canterbury Bankstown. Council inspectors found slurry flowing from a construction site into a gutter and travelling about 120 metres to an exposed stormwater pit with no erosion or sediment controls in place. The builder was later convicted for water pollution in Bankstown local court. The City of Newcastle says residents affected by the new Lambton landslip remain the top priority as the 1-year anniversary approaches. Council is working with the New South Wales Reconstruction Authority on a funding package to demolish damaged homes and compensate landowners, but says demolition is unlikely to begin until early 2027. 16 properties remain under an evacuation notice, with a new 12-month government-funded relocation package to begin soon. Also making news, Waverley Council has launched a massive draft master plan aiming to transform Bondi Junction into a world-class civic and cultural hub. The blueprint features 3,000 new homes, a major revamp of the Oxford Street Mall into an 18-hour day-to-night destination, and a brand new civic precinct. Blue Mountains Mayor Mark Greenhill is renewing calls for urgent New South Wales government action over dangerous heavy truck movements on Old Bathurst Road at Blaxland. He says years of inaction and weak enforcement have left locals reporting repeated near misses. And Warren Shire Council is demanding stronger regional water security guarantees in its latest submission to the Murray-Darling Basin Plan review. Mayor Greg Whiteley says protecting critical human needs must remain a top priority to safeguard towns across the Macquarie Valley from future severe droughts. This is the Local Government News Roundup, brought to you by the Victorian Local Governance Association with support from Symphony 3 and Rath Engineering Development. As we catch up on some Queensland news now, and the state government has extended the appointment of an external governance advisor at Redland City Council until the 30th of June, according to a report from Redland Bayside News. Correspondence shows the extension is partly to ensure staff currently on leave have returned before findings and recommendations are formally delivered. The advisor was appointed amid escalating governance concerns. The extension comes as Mayor Jos Mitchell remains on medical leave until mid-June, with Deputy Mayor Julie Talty acting as Mayor. And in more Redland news, the council has received a noted and independent Deloitte review into council services and organisational efficiency. The report, commissioned after a mayoral minute in March last year, found the council isn't in distress but is at a crossroads as the city grows. Louise Roussan, the council's CEO, says the review highlights both challenges and a valued service record, with recommendations now set to be considered in the coming months. Livingstone Shire Council has announced the appointment of Tom Upton as its new Chief Executive Officer. Following a comprehensive nationwide recruitment search, Mayor Adam Bellott said the appointment of Mr Upton is a strategic move to provide long-term stability and leadership for one of Queensland's fastest-growing regions outside of the southeast corner. Tom comes to Livingstone after a recent 7-year tenure at Banana Shire Council. He's scheduled to officially relocate and commence his duties on the 29th of June. And the city of Moreton Bay is set to become a global tech powerhouse. Silicon Valley-based quantum computing giant Psi Quantum has announced it will build its Asia-Pacific headquarters and a massive utility-scale quantum computer at Moreton Bay Central in Petrie. Mayor Peter Flannery says the landmark project will supercharge the local innovation ecosystem and bring thousands of highly skilled jobs to the region. Down to Tasmania, and the Mayor of Launceston, Matthew Garwood, has slammed the AFL's decision to end Hawthorn home games in Tasmania after 2027. The Mayor warns the eviction will strip northern Tasmania of a proven $80 million economic boost without a clear transition plan for the incoming Tasmania Devils. Mayor Garwood claims both the AFL and the state government have met the council's calls for dialogue with absolute silence. Councillor Christian Street has been elected Deputy Mayor of Kingborough Council, chosen by ballot at a council meeting last week. Outgoing Mayor Paula Wright congratulated Street, saying the experienced councillor, first elected in 2018, will provide calm, thoughtful leadership through to the October elections. The change follows former Deputy Mayor Claire Glade Wright's recent election to Tasmania's Legislative Council. Councillor Street will also step in as acting mayor when Councillor Wright officially steps down this week. Pulse Tasmania reported that Councillor Wright has used her final council meeting to call for a kinder community and to apologise to council staff for the abuse that they've copped on social media. Tasmania's Under Fire West Coast Council has commissioned an independent external review of its operations following intense local criticism. The Advocate reported that the move follows a string of controversies, including a heavily opposed waterfront concrete wall, a recently settled unfair dismissal claim, and union backlash over high staff turnover. General Manager Scott Riley says the review is designed to provide a clear pathway forward for the isolated municipality. And a major housing boom is coming to Greater Hobart. Glenorchy City Council has welcomed a joint state and federal plan to transform the 30-hectare Derwent Barracks site at Dowsing Point into a brand new suburb. Mayor Sue Hickey says the project will deliver around 1,000 much-needed homes alongside green spaces while putting a spotlight on the urgent need for local transport upgrades. In South Australia, the District Council of Tumby Bay is getting a new leader. Luke Moen has been appointed as the council's new CEO, officially stepping into the role on Tuesday the 9th of June. Luke will move from the District Council of Elliston, where he's served as the Director of Essential Services and Assets. Mayor Jeff Churchett said Luke's extensive background in regional local government will be a major asset for the coastal community. The City of Onkaparinga says it has no immediate plans to raise council rates on short-term rentals like Airbnbs to fix local housing pressures. Mayor Moira Weir said that while affordable housing remains a massive challenge, a direct link to short-stay rentals isn't yet clear. The council is calling for a statewide registration database to better track the data, balancing the local tourism economy with the desperate need for long-term rentals. Big news out of Western Australia, where the local government minister says the City of Perth's diabolical culture should trigger serious reform, with some even suggesting that it merge with the neighbouring city of Vincent. Inspector Tony Brown has formally put the council on notice over allegations of a toxic work environment and poor communication between councillors and staff, warning stronger action could follow. Perth MP John Carey, a former local government minister, says the pettiness, infighting and immaturity is galling and has left ratepayers fed up. WA Today reported that the inspector is investigating more than a dozen complaints about Chief Executive Michelle Reynolds. The concerns were detailed to councillors in a closed-door briefing, after which they voted to place Reynolds on leave pending a legal review. Current Local Government Minister Hannah Beazley has flagged broader shake-ups across that state's local government sector, saying amalgamations are absolutely back on the table. The City of Vincent says it's open to talks on a merger, but it's wary of joining with a dysfunctional council. More on that from ABC Perth. A war of words has erupted after long-time Mandurah councillor Peter Rogers abruptly resigned with immediate effect earlier this month. Mr Rogers walked away citing a lack of strategic direction and leadership under Mayor Amber Kearns. But Mayor Kearns wasted no time firing back, saying she's disappointed Rogers is walking away with 2 years left on his term, sparking a public dispute over council involvement and a photoshopped Facebook image. Perth Now reported the early exit will trigger an unexpected and costly extraordinary election for Mandurah ratepayers. The City of Busselton has appointed Annie Reardon as its new Chief Executive Officer, commencing the 24th of August. Annie has served as CEO of the Shire of Harvey for the past 8 years. Prior to that, she held executive roles with the Shire of Augusta Margaret River for 8 years and has also worked in senior local government positions in South Australia. Mayor Phil Cronin said Ms Reardon's strong knowledge of the southwest community and industry places her in a unique position to quickly transition into the CEO role at the City of Busselton. And Julian Murphy is stepping down as CEO of the Shire of Plantagenet, finishing in late July after a serious health scare prompted a rethink of his priorities. Mr Murphy is a local government veteran of 30 years, including 25 as CEO. He says he plans to focus on recovery and spend more time with family and doubts he'll return to another full-time role. And it's Global Report time with breaking news from Poland firstly. An exit poll shows residents in Krakow have overwhelmingly voted to oust both the Mayor, Aleksander Mizalski, and the City Council in a local referendum. With a projected turnout of over 33%, the vote clears the legal threshold to be binding, according to TVP World. Voters have cited frustration over the city's planned low-emission transport zone and rising debt. If official results confirm the poll, Poland's second-largest city will be heading to early elections. In New Zealand, Wanganui, Ruapehu and Rangitikei councils are taking local government reform to the people, scheduling public meetings over a fast-tracked amalgamation head start process. Rangitikei's Mayor Andy Watson told the New Zealand Herald that the deadline is too tight for a change this big, calling for more time and open discussion. And Wanganui Mayor Andrew Tripe says the process must be structured, not rushed. While at Ruapehu, the Mayor says it needs a strong voice as options are assessed. Kaipara District Council has named Jazz Singh as its new Chief Executive. The experienced local government solicitor and former Chief of Staff to Auckland Mayor Wayne Brown will step into the role on the 8th of June. Mayor Jonathan Larson said Singh's expertise across policy and fiscal management makes him the right person to lead the district through upcoming local government reforms. In the UK, post-election gridlock is gripping local town halls with a record 158 English councils left under no overall control. While Birmingham and Cambridge scramble to form coalitions, Reform UK has successfully secured a minority administration to lead East Sussex County Council. Meanwhile, the local government Chronicle reports that Labor's devolution plans are in question after Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham confirmed his bid to return to Westminster via the Makerfield by-election. Derby City Council has defended playing the intro to a Dr Dre track at the city's annual mayor-making ceremony after a councillor called it highly inappropriate. Outgoing Mayor Ajit Atwal chose the clip, with the council stressing only a short instrumental section was used and it doesn't endorse the song's lyrics. The incoming Mayor, Conservative Councillor Jonathan Smale, opted for the hymn Jerusalem for his induction, according to BBC News. And a long-serving Worcestershire councillor says death threats against both him and his dog have pushed him to quit politics. According to BBC News, Richard Udall told a county council meeting he won't stand again after 35 years in office, citing rising abuse and intimidation. Colleagues say threats against councillors and staff are becoming alarmingly common. Across the United States, municipal leaders are sounding the alarm over a proposed overhaul of FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Authority. A federal task force recommendation suggests pulling back federal disaster intervention for everything except catastrophic events. Local officials warn the shift will push immense financial and operational burdens onto city budgets already strained by soaring insurance costs. Meanwhile, as Infrastructure Week wraps up, local governments are turning up the pressure on Washington. With mega funding set to expire in September, advocates are lobbying heavily for the new bipartisan Build America 250 draft bill. Councils are pushing to make sure they can use federal grants to lock down cyber security on vulnerable local water and transit networks. And in Canada, Stratford City Council is taking the Ontario government to court. CBC News reported that the city is launching a legal challenge against the province's strong mayor legislation, arguing it violates the Charter of Rights by stripping elected councillors of their authority. Stratford Mayor Martin Ritzmer says he supports the move, but is publicly raising concerns over the unknown cost to local taxpayers. And the British Columbia provincial government is introducing new legislative amendments aimed at cutting upfront costs for home builders. Housing Minister Christine Boyle announced that the province will give local municipalities more flexibility to waive or reduce development charges on multi-unit housing. Officials say the changes are designed to speed up home construction and ensure BC communities qualify for billions in upcoming federal infrastructure funding. And that's the latest from the Local Government News Roundup, edition number 586, recorded on the morning of Monday, the 25th of May, 2026. If you have comments or feedback or story ideas, you can email me at chris@lgnewsroundup.com. And you can find out more about this episode, including all the story links, by heading to lgnewsroundup.com. Our podcast is brought to you by the Victorian Local Governance Association, the national broadcaster on all things local government, with support from Symphony 3, simple connected customer experiences, and from Rath Engineering Development, smarter local government systems built from real on-the-ground experience. And I'm grateful to the many of you who help make this podcast possible by supporting us through a monthly subscription. Support starts at $3 per month. That's around $5 Australian. A little less, actually. And you can cancel your subscription at any time. You'll find the details on the website or in your podcast player. The Roundup is recorded in the city of Greater Geelong, Victoria, on the land of the Wadawurrung people of the Kulin Nation. Until next time, thanks for listening and bye for now. Support for the Local Government News Roundup comes from Rath Engineering Development, smarter systems for local government, like Red GMS, helping councils manage gravel pits and projects, track quality, test results, blending options and haulage, and know the true cost per tonne from day one. Rath Engineering Development can give you a one-off report that uses your existing pit data to pinpoint the best gravel sources for your next resheeting program or disaster restoration works, saving your council time and money. For local government systems built from real on-the-ground experience, talk to the team at Rath Engineering Development. Head to rathed.com.au to find out more.